and should be live momentarily. Hello, everybody! Alexis got called into work early. She should be back in a couple minutes, actually. And here we go on one of the side quests. Reconstruction of Colony 6. I'm actually pretty far already, because, well, basically everything that's left is stuck in areas where we haven't been yet, and the only reason why I have some of those items is because, well, New Game Plus. I actually had no issues finding the ice cabbage, which is one of the more difficult to get in the items in the game, just because I was trying to fill out the map of Valak Mountain, and I just found one at random. I literally spent a significant portion of yesterday fixing the audio, Golden Garo. It's on your end at this point. That or it's YouTube being YouTube.
Bionis and Mechonis.
Oh, it's so different, seeing them from this kind of perspective.
We cannot see it from here, but our people are still fighting up there.
It's difficult to believe that two such huge things ever fought each other. I wonder how the Machina felt at the time.
Must have been horrible.
Scary too.
Fear robs us of reason. Out of fear, we commit terrible atrocities, and call them acts of self-preservation.
Fear gives rise to more fear. A never-ending circle of hatred.
Perhaps that circle can be broken.
Fear. It must be what's driving this. What's made Egil act this way.
I swear, every fucking time I try and fix something, it makes it worse for you guys. Like, literally, what am I supposed to do at this point? Yeah, seriously, I've changed mics 3 fucking times. I put on different sets of filters, and every time now. Literally, I spent hours yesterday going through all this shit. And the entire time I was test testing, I didn't have a single problem. It's either YouTube or OBS, because I can use other software and it doesn't do this. Like, this is the same mic I used for all my recordings for videos. And yet, when I moved it over to doing it for streaming, now it suddenly has all the problems. That don't make sense. Dear Crystal, it didn't happen when you streamed before. Yes, exactly. Hey. Yelling at the chat because we're still having audio issues on YouTube side. Like, I got audio monitoring on and I'm not hearing any of it.
We're inside the MECHONIS.
Just how I imagined it. It's all totally mechanical. It ain't gonna be easy getting up this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Egil is at
Hi,
the top.
chat. I'm not dead.
Black Century King, I'm looking this up. Maybe from what I'm seeing, it's due to an encoding error on OBS, which is why I haven't updated OBS.
Oh, we got the dub bands.
Yeah. Try moving party rotation around.
Yeah. Got the brother and sister combo.
Yeah, just because I got sick of Melia and Fiora sniping at each other.
Welcome to MECHONIS Field.
It looks nothing like a field.
It's a field. What we call a field day.
Boo.
Hey, come on!
as you weren't here to hear me complaining, I spent a significant portion of last night testing audio settings to try and fix our audio stuff, and it's still happening.
I really like how vibe.
Me too, Fiora. Fiora, that's great, everyone. That was too easy. I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
Let's play her.
Quest item.
History of MECHONIS. Chapter 1. The Net Titan.
That's chapter 5.
Wonder if we'll meet the Candy Computer Whiz Kid here.
No. Right there, so Final Fantasy X HD is currently on sale on PSN. I'm thinking getting it. I haven't played it in over a decade, but I'm afraid my work schedule won't let me play that much. It's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, I know people have their rights with the HD remasters, and like, it's like one of those, they did their best, but sometimes, like, you know, no matter how hard you try, like, the HD remaster is just gonna look a little bit off compared to the original. But the game's so goated.
And OBS momentarily crashed. Great. Okay, so maybe when I reinstalled on the new software, I got the version that auto-updated to something less stable than the one I was using before. Suck.
You're just mowing things down.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
But we mustn't be careless.
If I speaking of streams, finally grabbed Cyber Sleuth since it's on Steam sale. About an hour and a half in, enjoying it so far. Yes, the worst thing about Cyber Sleuth is just its localization.
Everything else about that game is top tier.
The frustrating thing is the Asian English version of the game actually does not have all the translation errors. It is just the US version.
For whatever reason.
For whatever stupid reason. First lift, GF. Ground floor or girlfriend? You decide.
I mean, considering we're inside the MECHONIS, I mean, it could be both.
Rather, to be honest, I'm leaning towards getting Final Fantasy X HD. I just finished Yakuza Like a Dragon. I need something to fill my JRPG void. It's either Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy 15. 10 is the better option
10
there.
is the better option, yes. I mean, like, I heard at the very best, 15 is mixed. But if you were to, it's like, what would you rather do? Would you rather go to Pizza Hut or the top tier local pizza restaurant?
You guys look like a real family.
Well,
I mean, you're getting pizza either way.
Right, you're getting good. You're getting pizza either way. It's just, I mean, like, what are you in the mood for?
be careful.
Now,
what
plus,
you wish for.
the 10 HD collection gives you 2 pretty lengthy games with side quest stuff for specials that are actually pretty difficult. Like, I've only done a few of them once.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
By the way, speaking of pizza, like in the Code Geass Discord I'm a part of.
Of course, because it's Pi Day.
Yeah, we actually have an emoticon of C2 in a jail cell. And then posted that and used that emoticon, and then one of the C2 fans was like, why is she in jail? And I said, because she stole somebody's pizza. To which they replied, hey, she was borrowing that pizza. She's entitled to all pizzas.
It's a switch.
Yes, but how's she gonna give it back later when she claims to be borrowing it?
Exactly. That's the con.
Boring.
What do we do?
Well, if we could find the main
Just
power.
because, yeah, I know, I tried so hard to find a copy of that Asia English one, but I had absolutely no luck. Because there are
If we can
screenshot examples of the corrected translation to show how awful the American version is. It's just, everybody in the know bought it early, so it became impossible to get, and then later re-releases had the awful English localization. Go for one. Got that.
Frog's Wood.
Yes.
I just love Fiora's energy.
Probably going to spend most of this stream just here.
Out here in the field. A song for my niece. But yeah, like with Bradley Harris deciding which game to get 15 or 10, like if after all the game DLC overall reception is still mid, that's a problem. DLCs are supposed to be like used to help expand a story and, you know, make you more appreciative of a game, not make you constantly go, wow, that's still lukewarm.
That's still more. Granted, I saw a thing last night which was ridiculous about people listing off the worst RPGs, and at the top of it was Pokemon Scarlet Violet, and it's like, its bug and performance issues are nowhere near the top 10 of most bugged and game-broken, riddled issue games, let alone deserving to be on the top of a worst games list. Second one after that, Final Fantasy 13. And even in the reply threads, people were questioning that because we've discussed this before, there is an official ceasefire on the consideration of 13 for a worst games list, and that ceasefire is 13-2 and Lightning Returns are in nearly every way worse. One of the people in the replies was like, well, people only hated on 13 because it was cool to hate on 13, and it's like, no, we stopped openly eviscerating it for the sole reason of its sequels were worse. You guys got a reprieve, it's still bad.
The other quest I was like right behind that village.
Yeah. I would rather not draw to my death. It's probably above us.
Yeah. Yeah, like, where's, with Boreanix, everything's very, wide, if that makes any sense. Everything's vertical here.
Yeah, because we're climbing up the leg. This is why I think it probably would have been better to, like, sequester the area names. So it's like, name this the MECHONIS leg until we get to an actual field.
Oh, Fiora!
David Payne, Scarlet Violet has some really major bugs, but it does have one of the better stories in the series. Yeah, and the cases where bugs happen were very inconsistent. Like, the worst bug I had was just the windmills not rendering correctly. Another person in the thread said, well, it's because the game doesn't stop rendering water, but all my issues with the windmills were immediately after the game booted up, and they disappeared as the longer it ran.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, like, if your definition of a bad RPG is Scarlet and Violet, go out and play more bad RPG. Like, you know, get educated.
Like, things made out of RPG Maker 2000. That's the unrelenting dreck. Or hell, I've named worse RPGs than Scarlet Violet by just experience and done them on the show. It's like, it has to be bad in numerous categories. Hell, the reason why that list was kind of invalid was it kept repeating itself. Like, 13 was on the list, so was 10 too. Kind of the segue for why this came around. But also, Kingdom Hearts, the first one. People were in the chat were saying, well, that's Shade of Memories, which okay, I'm fine with that one, but that's not the image they used. And then 3 different entries for Fire Emblem. And it's like, okay, you can't even choose a worst for a franchise. I don't think this is a valid list. And Persona 1 was also on it, which, okay, Persona 1 is when they weren't really sure of what to do for Persona games, so I can see it being the first one just because it's the first one, but it's the first one.
It's like they had like things like game balancing and like what Persona was gonna be like wasn't just a thing yet. For the very first Persona, it was still going off of Shin Megami Tensei logic. So
Yeah,
it doesn't make it bad. It just means like it was baby steps. You know?
exactly.
It's like yelling at an infant for not walking immediately. It's like, excuse me, I'm like 5 days old.
Brothers, okay, no Fire Emblem game belongs in the worst RPG list. Even Echoes is on the 3DS the weakest entry, but still kind of good. Yeah, that was the one that was on it. Echoes and Revelations. Those were those were 2 of the entries, and then I forget what the last Fire Emblem Heroes. That was the 3rd one. And I can see them all being bad in different ways, but not in a way where they would each qualify for a worst of list.
If Fire Emblem Heroes is a gacha game, like calling a gacha game a bad game, that's easy.
It's like low-hanging fruit.
Like, yeah, of course the gacha game isn't gonna be as good as like an actual console game.
And even then, there are good gacha games. There are ones that are really engage people.
Like the reason why Fate Grand Order has survived as long as it has isn't just because of like the cute husbandos and waifu. No, the story is actually legitimately that good, and it's always.
Honkai Star Rail was also on the list, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's another gacha.
Yeah, that is another gacha, but that's all. I think that's been one of people's lists because of Boyo versus nonsense. And
Which
also,
would make sense because I've
Oh.
heard good things about Zenless Zone Zero. Lori is playing that.
yeah. But with Honkai Star Rail, the most recent thing I heard is that so you're familiar with how gachas always release like this is your broken character for the year, right? Like,
Yeah.
so with Honkai Star Rail, they've been power creeping too much as of late. To the point where there's apparently a character coming out that will give you a buff party-wide. Or not party, account-wide. Meaning, if you have this character, you're now busting the game even further, but now you're also basically invalidating previous characters in a way. But
Instead of giving everybody something else different. Yeah, okay, I can see that putting games like that on people's shit lists.
yeah,
Which I'm not sure how that affects Zenless Zone Zero at all. I know next to
well,
nothing
like
about Zenless Zone
the
Zero.
most current thing about that is the SAG after nonsense.
Oh,
Yeah, because voice actors got replaced for that game because they wanted to kowtow to Oyo versus Shenanigan.
okay, yeah. And it's like Lori plays it simply because he can only really play mobile games due to situations.
Oh, you got the portable generator?
Yeah, I got the portable generator. So I need to clear this out some more just because the inventory is full.
It's like, okay, guys, I love you all, but we need to craft some gems.
And they're pretty much mostly terrible at this.
Okay, let's get on with it. Hope this
Why
works.
was this have a good success?
We did it. Hope this works.
Whoa!
Yeah. I just did something at random. And got like 4 gems out of it.
Yeah. But like with Fate Grand Order or even Arc Knights, no matter how busted a character may be, those games aren't basically like here's your win button servant or here's your win button character. Still have to employ some semblance of strategy to best utilize them. You know what I mean?
This works.
To me! Awesome!
This is tricky.
There we go! Awesome!
This is tricky.
There we go! Nice one!
This is tricky.
To me! Nice one! finished.
Fire Emblem Engage had stands and spirits like Shaman King.
Honestly, Engage just didn't do it for me. I'm sorry, guys. It's like, I know there's a lot of people who like it, and I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be the, oh, it's not 3 houses, so it's not good. It's just, the story didn't quite click with me.
Yeah, I remember you being very disappointed at that one.
Yeah, especially with, like, how, well, I know it's supposed to be an anniversary game, so it's really meant for, like, Fire Emblem, like, hardcores, but I never really, just, even with that, I felt like I had no real connection to, like, when I first watched Gokaiger, I had never seen a Sentai before that, but they still made me feel like I should give a dang about the past, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and whereas Engage, it's like, oh, you have all these franchise characters and we barely have context to them.
Right, and, like, support conversations between the Engage rings, like the various heroes and the characters, could be as simple as,
Okay,
hello
let's get
there.
on with it.
Hi. And then it just cuts away, like maybe, like, 2 sentences, and it's like, that's it.
Ooh, sparkly.
Like, because, I was looking for, like, some deep, meaningful conversations,
Like something to tell of their history and story and whatnot, and it was not providing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember a lot of your complaints from when you were actively trying to get through that.
let's
Yeah,
get
and
on
then
with
the final act just had me rolling my eyes with the, oh my god, we're doing this. Like, I mean, listen, I'm the girl who loves Super Gear and cheese on them and a lot of cheesy stuff. I can handle my cheese. It's just, I think the cheese has to be earned. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that they continue to treat the entire 3 heroes thing as, well, they're equally at fault, is like, no, there is an objectively wrong person among those 3, and that person is Dimitri.
Okay, let's get on with it.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, but, like, for me, at the end of the day, like, for something to be truly awful in my eyes, it has to fail on multiple levels. Like, we're not just saying, like, oh, the story is bad, or
It has bugs. It's like, again, there are over 100 games worse in every respect with their bugs than what people experience with Scarlet Violet.
like, honestly, my benchmark for how bad an RPG has to be, it will always be 13-2, because I will never forget feeling lied to. It's like advertisements, and even the box art. Here's Lightning Farron, like the being a badass Valkyrie lady with a cool horse and gunblade and everything. She was one of my favorites from the first one, even if 13 wasn't the best. Hold on a second. What do you mean? There's this whole intro scene. What's going on here? What do you mean we're playing as the sister? I don't care about the sister.
Yeah, false advertising on that. King. Last time I heard someone talk about Zenless Zone Zero, it was some dumbass saying that's what Ruby should be. Now, no, quit trying to make Ruby something it's not and move on. Like, I don't see the comparison. God damn it.
Okay.
Oh,
So you can just get rid of all like the lower rank one.
I was planning to. Wanted the wrong thing and trying to by rank.
Oh,
It's not flipping.
no, it's not flipping because like all the lower tier ones are at the bottom.
Yeah, again, that's what I'm saying. It's like when you press a category twice, it should flip between low and high, not automatically set it one way to highest. Yeah, I have to do all these little messing with the menus because it keeps going back down.
HJ5s, huh? I have thought to myself that Ruby would work in that type of anime open world game. Yeah, like honestly, like I could see Ruby working at almost akin to Monster Hunter.
I mean, they do have 2 games. We have them.
Yeah, but I mean, like I can also see it like, create your own Ruby character, go out in the world and and take on missions and that sort of.
But then again, Ruby has always been focused around its cast, and I think that's the problem, that because of the limitations of how much they could develop the story, they only spend their focus on a few people at a time, which people haven't wanted. Like, they wanted to expand to more to explore the secondary and tertiary casts, and that's not something they could feasibly do. Whereas all these other series have, you know, the gacha thing, where they have to have a bunch of varied characters with different personalities, and they have large enough groups to, like, develop them a bit, but then it ends up being rather shallow, unless they're directly focused on in the story. Either you get rotating focus, or you just don't get focus at all.
Like, Big Grand Order's kind of been weird about, has always been weird about that, because you'll have events where certain servants will get more focused than others. Sometimes it's a gag-based, sometimes it's serious. But then you have, like, main story chapters where they'll pick, like, a handful of servants at random, and then you'll see them at, like, their absolute peak fiction best. Right?
Yeah, because Ruby was always going to be focused around the main 4 girls. Yeah. They're the literal titular character.
Right, it's like, you know, the show's called Ruby, not, Juniper or whatever. It's like, I mean, as much as I would love to see, like, every side character get, like, super developed in a story, sometimes that's just not feasible.
I think the novels spoil people in that regard. And it's like, it's not a fault of the show when it's not focusing on the areas you necessarily want them to, when those areas weren't what the show was supposed to be about. Now, if it fails in those regards entirely, that's different, but it really hasn't in the way people often claim. Like, all the idiots that want to make John super badass because he's the 5th wheel in the cast rotation as the primary male cast member. But it's like, of course the show's never going to be about him. That's silly. It's literally not what the show is about. It'd be like making Sailor Moon about Tuxedo Mask.
Right, like, that wouldn't make any sense. And it's Tuxedo Mask, that guy doesn't do anything. Like, I've done my duty. Do anything.
Yeah, again, when it comes to Ruby, I think a lot of the complaints are just people not really paying attention about what the series is supposed to be about. Not necessarily lacking focus on supplementary characters, but more limitations caused by time. And, you know, focusing the story where it most essentially needs to be. Rather, it reminds me of the My Hero Academia fandom who complained about all the background characters not getting focused. They don't understand what secondary and background characters are and their role. Yes, exactly. Like, the reason we complained about Anko from Naruto is because the entire way her character is set up initially, she has the personal vendetta against Orochimaru. Orochimaru is a major antagonist due to him doing all that stuff with Sasuke. So the logical train of thought is, okay, you introduce her to be a major character because of this connection to a major villain in the series. And then they don't do anything with it. So it feels more like a wasted character. Ruby and My Hero Academia, they don't do that. They have those different tiers of importance, but they don't emphasize characters as being a bigger thing than they are. Why I'm more willing to bash Naruto for that stuff, because it's clearly wasting its potential, whereas for these others, it clearly wasn't supposed to be the most focused on to begin with. And even then, their secondary characters of the main class got more than some others get. There's at least much more beneficial rotation in that focus and attention paid to them than some other series got. Like, I hate where My Hero Academia kept going with its story, but I can't say that it was the most awful to its secondary and tertiary characters. It'd be like complaining, like, Super Sentai's victim or side character of the week didn't get enough focus and attention. It's like, not every series is going to be Kinojo where the entire supporting cast is regularly seen to have more defined character than a one-off only in an episode character would get. Or hell, Kamen Rider 4 is doing that with the recurring school characters. And them all coming back for that switch on scene in the movie. Or hell, again, we've been watching Kamen Rider Drive, and there's that same recurring antagonist character that was defeated in episode 0, but still keeps having plot relevance due to the longer narrative arc of the series. There's ways to do it, but not every series has the time, focus, and attention to do it, depending on their story engines.
Or like what they're going for.
Now, if they use characters they deliberately focus on badly, that's an entirely different thing as well. Like, even Final Fantasy X, Kimahri is the silent one. You don't really think of him as a character until he starts speaking, and yet he's there and serving a purpose in the narrative as Yuna's strongest bodyguard. At least strongest bodyguard at the time. And then you get his stuff later.
Oh, you're just making your way up first and then you're gonna go back for stuff?
Oh, I don't think I can reach that yet.
Yeah, it looks like you need to like do some climbing.
Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because if it's at the top of this pillar, then that's it.
You have to get on top of that pillar, man. Also, JoJo Day is coming next month. I am so hoping for a Steel Ball 1 anime announcement.
But that's interesting. The major problem I see is you just start to wonder why they're here at times. My Hero Academia gave us moments where it seems though they could do something important to help out later, only for them to do nothing at all. And I can see that being a later story problem, certainly. Especially because, you know, Bakugo got far more attention than he really fucking should have for that entire narrative. Because there's all these other more supportive characters that you would think would then be taking the focus because, you know, they make a more positive impact than the bully in Midoriya's life. The friend turned bully turned complex relationship that they handled very poorly because how many times did they do that Bakugo's almost dead fake out?
A lot.
A lot, exactly. It's like you get to do it once, then you can't do it again. If you do it more than once, it's bad. It becomes bad writing because you could have spent that time focusing on other people.
And it also brings the question of how the heck are you not dead?
Yeah. Or how many people are going to sacrifice their lives to bring this shithead back from the brink for him to still be kind of reprehensible, even if he's trying to make himself better. Again, there's lines where people just got sick of that series because it's pulling that. Riley writes, my biggest problem with My Hero Academia is how Uraraka and Ida were ditched for Bakugo and Todoroki as the main trio of the series that turned me off the series immensely. I can see that. Yeah. I don't have complaints about that. And the rest of the secondary character not getting focused things, if they're in that vein, then there's no fault in feeling that.
It's like, I think at a certain point, the series forgot, like, made so many actually, if you look at My Hero Academia as an example of what happens when you have many side characters like main characters.
Or too many side characters have something more engaging going for them and of course, their story engine than what is chosen to be focused on. Like, I like Momo a lot in that series, and past her getting past the self-confidence issues and then touching back on that over time in the various training arcs, she doesn't get to do a lot. And, okay, she got something, I'm not going to complain. And apparently there was that background thing with Kyoka building a small harem with her, Kaminari, and...
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the last one, because I just stopped reading, or just engaging with that. And I remember people reacting over Kyoka's stealth harem, and it's like, okay.
Fine. It's like low-key hilarious about how it just happened.
Yeah.
Backslash that man.
Yes, and?
It's funny, it's like, he didn't see it coming. Like,
No, we're playing the wrong game for that.
I'm just imagining that bit from The Simpsons where Bart hits over the head with a chair, but it's backslash. Backslash.
You realize now picturing Joker as with the Monado.
I mean, Joker would be worthy.
Bongar, it's why I love My Hero Academia fan fiction that either treats Bakugo as he should be treated or making him an aggressive, positive friend. Fair, those are the two extremes with that. It's like, fix the characterization more than Horikoshi was willing to, or just go down the obvious route with it.
Put these friends back on. I'm gonna kill every single monster I see.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
But you never know when they might have a quest item.
I mean, you do. That's the icon on top of them. Why I'm targeting the ones with the icons.
Ah, I see. That's how you do it.
Ready when you
You might have like the most dangerous setup right now because Duffman is the agile tank and so is Fiora, and they get both outputs of high damage. So like the monsters could just be confused as to who to hit. You know?
And when they draw their attention away, that's when everybody else can hit harder.
Yep.
Xenoblade 3Z resembles Persona 5 Holy Grail. Thematically, yes. I still can't pronounce his name, but I call him the Demiurge in the videos. That's because...
Yaldabaoth?
Yeah, he is actually from Gnostic mythology. The thing with the Xenoblade games, as I bring the Xeno series as I bring up throughout the series, is they are very much banking on themes from Gnostic mythology. So, of course, Persona 5 is going to have that crossover there with their central main villain. Well, okay, the central main villain is actually Akechi, but, you know, the one who actually allowed for all the villains to be empowered as they were.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's why there's that crossover. The big door.
Opening the bulkhead.
Reese, Dunban, Morag, Ethel.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you're not wrong. Dunbag arrow pointing to each in turn.
Yeah, like, but Ethel is like, oh my god, Silvercoat Ethel is so hot. And the fact that she can pilot a mech, oh. Oh my god, he just... He's in...
It's a tough part M. No, it wasn't.
just went by. That guy was just living his best life, and he got backslashed into oblivion. That's so funny. I'm so happy that I'm floating here. That Conveyor Belt of Doom?
Conveyor Belt of Doom. So I can get the items.
Metro Diode.
This way I don't have to go all the way there and back again. Wikipedia, I should check.
Oh.
Did you not do the quest, or did you not fill that in last time?
I did not fill that in last time. Oh, but look at how beautiful this is.
Like, we're right at, I want to say around the knee.
Yeah, but you can just see what the Bionis looks like from the MECHONIS perspective. Just how gnarly it is.
Yeah. It almost looks like it's, obviously because it's biological, but it looks a lot more rotted.
Yeah. It looks like the MECHONIS may be a giant robot thing, but something about the Bionis just says messed up, you know? You don't really stop and think about it, but it's just the fact that this game gives you an opportunity where or like the major part of your journey in, like, it's just so cool.
HJ Fuzz, all these escalators, I keep expecting the characters to get into a discussion on how to pronounce GIF.
I just remember this bit from Fairly Odd Parents where they go to Escalator Land. It's like, when are we gonna get to the ride? This is the ride!
Tiny Toon Adventures, how I spent my summer vacation. They just go on the the escalator that shows off how great the entire amusement park is, and then they leave immediately afterwards.
Yeah. Right, ventilator? Don't look down.
And at least the sea is there, and we'll have a nice soft landing. Actually, water is very hard unless you break the surface first.
Belly flop! Don't die. I have belly flopped off a high dive. I would not recommend it. It hurts.
But yeah, the GIF argument is stupid, not just because there is also a file format that is spelled GIFF, so there is both GIF and GIF, so they can't both be pronounced the same way, but GIF stands for Graphics Image File. Like, if it starts with a G, it can't be a J sound. Under normal circumstances.
Ah! Great battle scar.
Another scarab for the collection.
Oh, actually, if you go, I'm going all the way over. Guys.
Slide down to another platform.
Yeah. This leads to another secret area. Might as well do.
Now, let's see if I can start killing ourselves.
Wait, see that item down there?
Yeah.
Okay, you did this the smart way. When I did this, I did it the dumb way.
You just kept accelerating?
Yeah. Because it's funny. Yeah. Because it's funny. Ah, okay, so it just leads back down there. But at least you got that key.
Davis Hayden, gravity, please be kind this time. Never!
Oh, man, that gravity could fall.
Good chance that the item that's over here. No, I did not.
Do some lifting.
Probably.
Or like, climbing.
Well, since I have the markers, let's try and go back to the main power switch. Since those, platforms are over there.
Oh, you can always switch the,
Yeah, to...
memories. Birthday stream.
Try this one.
There we go.
Yes, that's the right one.
Ah, so you do need to call that lift.
saw a video where they compared plot of Xenoblade 1 to Space Runaway Ideon with Monado as the id. Yes, but the difference is Xenoblade 1 actually can articulate its point. Plus, the Monado is effectively just Albus, so... I did a juicy steak plant over here.
The juicy steak plants? I have a slight headache.
Oh, yeah, you had to deal with work. You shouldn't have had to. Yes.
Go.
Way to go, Sean.
Okay, guys. Now we're pulling together. Focus on this moment. Come on, we can do it. Right. Good job, everyone. Let's press on.
Right, let's keep going.
Now there's the fourth piece.
Yes.
So you follow that path. You follow the blue line. Oh.
Possibly. Probably. There it is. I walked past it earlier.
I thought.
Yeah, something else I needed to climb down. Okay, yeah, I couldn't see the bottom before, so that's why I didn't take that.
The origins
ladder.
fucking. You're a girl. Don't fall. No, don't jump, Fiora. Don't worry, I'll catch you. Get squished.
Yeah, because she's really heavy like that. All the mechanical parts.
Yeah, it's like, dog, are you think I'm too heavy? No, I mean, we're literally mostly mechanical right now. That quest can be turned in.
Yeah. A bit later.
And now there's a,
Be there in a little bit. So my
And then
miming memories makes more sense. Because I could not get this one to flag correctly. Like, I kept talking to the parents and it wouldn't let me move on.
big Steven 21. So anyone here excited for Xenoblade X next?
The 8th, but yeah, we're gonna be well, we'll be getting the game obviously, but we're gonna be missing the timing for starting streams on it. Plus, you know, the copy of the game might come in late just because of everything. Then?
Whoa! Don't look down. Anyone know where we are? Other than high up?
Maybe somewhere around the thigh?
The thigh? You mean we ain't even halfway there yet?
Stop moaning about it. Look, we can make camp over there. Let's rest for a while.
Yes, let's rest in enemy territory.
Fiora, are you sure you're feeling okay?
I feel a bit like I haven't got used to this body yet. But please, whatever you do, don't tell Shulk about it. I'm sorry, Dunban.
Don't worry about it. Back when my arm was injured, it was you who took care of me.
I'd almost forgotten. It seems so long ago now.
Thanks, Ryan.
Doing a spot of maintenance?
Yeah. The sighting's been a bit off lately.
You know, Mikko let us have some new parts. I could make you a new rifle if you want.
Thanks.
Kind of friend, it's like,
But
here, have a
I
new
want to keep
rifle
using
on
this
me.
one for now.
Shulk, get a clue, man. It's more than just a weapon to her. She can't just throw it away and get a new one.
Yeah. I suppose so.
If she let anything happen to it, I bet she'd get a whack from old Atharon.
Doesn't my man ever rest?
Not a chance. The lives of everyone in the colony rely on the defense force. Our readiness and our will to keep on fighting.
We never know when the Mechon will strike next.
No. But I won't let anyone else die.
Behold the power of gun.
If only I had more power.
Stop it! Gaddo, it's not your fault!
We lost 30 men in Fortress 3 alone.
Listen to me. Nobody knew that so many Mechon would come.
Phrasing.
More people would have died if it wasn't for you.
It's not about reducing casualties. We lost 30 men. And we've lost the fortress. Those men died for nothing.
Would their deaths have meaning if we'd won?
Yes. At least they would have died for something. This is the end now. It's either the Mechon or us.
Like, Gadot seems like a good man, but
I don't care if I'm the last man standing.
his mentality isn't
I'll
really
take
healthy.
them down.
Now, Priest in the chat is just commenting on that. Doesn't Xenoblade series show how cycles of violence can damage you? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like all three games showcase like that in various ways.
Hey, Ryan.
Which is, again, a
What is
Gnostic
it?
mythology
Do you
thing
want to
where
be the
people
Mechon?
are artificially trapped
Of
in
course.
cycles by people who don't
What are you
want them
asking
to
that for?
move on and
At any cost?
gain
Even if it
self-
means giving your own
self-
life?
Give him my own life.
advancement. It's like,
No
you can only
way,
be
I can't do
controlled if
anything
you
if
just
I'm
stay the same as you are. It's that effect of sloth on people's minds.
I'm gonna take down the Mechon and survive. And there's no way I'm gonna lose Shulk, Fiora, or you along the way. We're all gonna win this and get out alive.
Ryan's a good man. He's a bit dim, but
If
he's
only
good.
we all thought like you.
He has his
What do you
heart in
mean?
the right place.
It's charming.
What?
Oh. Dude, you're about to get a hot girl with a sniper rifle. Just go with it.
We should get moving. We don't have time to hang around.
Oh
Ryan,
god, this is
did
the
you rest
Kamala
well?
Yoko dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel great.
It looks like we're about to re-enter the MECHONIS. Brace yourselves.
Got it.
And we got ourselves a himbo.
Dun, you okay?
Oh, it's nothing.
Another cool
Just my
character
imagination.
trait of I'm not really sure what you would call this, but somebody's trying to snipe me, but then the person turns around and like, I see you over there.
Hairs on the back of your head pricking up.
Yeah.
If you've been in fights, you learn to trust that instinct. Actually, if it's gonna be honest, Mechon sounds like a real came up with within 10 seconds type of name. But if we're gonna keep the Machina as the name of the actual race of the MECHONIS, then shortening MECHONIS to Mechon for like the beasts that are being sent out kind of makes sense.
Yep.
Plus, it's simple, direct, and to the point. I can't hate names like that.
Is it overcomplicating it?
Like, it's better than a lot of Power Ranger monster names, where they are so obnoxiously on the nose. It's like, oh, it's some type of adjective for evil, even if it doesn't fit the actual monster or character, monster designer character. Ah yes, we'll name this character after a type of poison. The character will never actually use poison. Oops.
What the hell was Dino Charge? I still refuse. Like, what was that? One day, so my head.
Brian Gold, is there anything you guys are expecting out of the definitive edition of Xenoblade Chronicles Cross? Quality of life improvements, level balancing changes, from what we heard, because we didn't finish the Wii U version, a proper conclusionary ending.
Oh, and probably maybe some way to tie it into the rest of the Xenoblade games, because that's what we're doing these days, I guess.
And we already know that there's a better user interface going in, which was definitely something needed, because you could barely read that thing.
And also, like, Xenoblade X, from what a lot of people say, like, once you get into the guts of the game and, like, know what you're doing, exploring becomes so much fun. You know what?
I mean, you're piloting a fucking robot.
That can go anywhere if you with the right
And it's proper robot or mecha fight mechanics that translate from what was done before, instead of being its completely own separate indistinguishable system, which was the Xenosaga problem. Again, the more you can make a combat system translatable between everything you do, whether regardless of what means you're using, the better it's going to be, as you're just applying the same mechanics you've iterated on to improve the core. This new area looks like Prison Island and 3 floating islands. Eh. Yeah. I gotta frustrate myself. I think they might all be in my jacket. One sec. Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty sure gonna be coming in today though, because they had like 2 call-outs in the morning.
Ah.
Like it started off with just one, but then like there was a second one, and I'm like, yeah, if I didn't show up, things would have been even more of a stress house. You know what I mean?
I mean, they really should have asked before the end of your shift instead of springing it on you right as it was ending.
Apparently, the reason why is because one of the person who called in last night, something happened to a close family member, so it was like a
absolute last minute, yeah.
So that I understand and stuff, but it's still annoying. But I can get that, you know.
But literally, they should have like come to you before you clocked out and explained the situation. Like letting you know, but makes it so that you don't have to suffer the stress and anger of, well, this was out of nowhere.
Yeah. I barely got any sleep last night because of it. Because, like, the way my brain works is that if I know I'm, like, off the next day or, like, it can wind itself down or whatever. But if I'm being told, oh, you're working in the morning, it's like, now it's haywire.
Like, that mentality of knowing.
Yeah, because the thing I most fear is oversleeping and missing work, so it's like... You know that that SpongeBob SquarePants Squidward meme where he like his eyes shoot open and it's bloodshot?
Yeah, I barely got any sleep last night either. I was having issues with insomnia and I do not know why. Yep. I wonder if we can jump it. Can't believe that worked.
Stay strong.
Which ties back to the commentary on Power Ranger names. Yeah, I don't need PR to be 100% like the Sentai, but it bugs me when they take villains created or with the theme and just put them all under Alien. Not even that, it's just like not understanding the purpose of why villains were certain ways, so the names don't make sense. Or you're trying to make something sympathetic, as in the not an actually evil monster of the week, and then you gave it a clearly evil-sounding name. And that's been a problem since, like, early Power Rangers. Though I say early Power Rangers, and I think season 6, but when your show is on the air for 30 years, that still counts as early. Like, just once, I would have liked them to do a villain faction name plus theme name, like the Sentai tends to do every now and then, especially with artificially created monsters that aren't, like, actually aliens. You know, show them a bit more as, like, the worker drone assault agents that aren't actually super sentient monsters. Ryan Gold, it's amazing how big Xenoblade Chronicles has become. A playable cameo of Smash and anime waifus does that to you. Funny story, the video I had on the background of why Xenosaga collapsed kind of gets into that. But then again, you need to have a character everyone latches onto for a game series to really do well. You can't do the audience surrogate character where they don't get to have their own voice. Again, I went over that in the Persona 5 reviews, that one of the weakest elements of the game is just Morgana speaking for the main character when they should be able to have their own voice, because you present them as being a character. You have them as being a character informed by the choices of the player, but they're still supposed to be their own person in the narrative. Like, Shepard was his own character in the narrative of Mass Effect. You still had the player make a choice about how he was characterized, so he became your Shepard. He became reflective of the character of the player while still being his own character. There's no reason why Atlas at this point should not be doing that with the Persona protagonists, because they did that with Yu Narukami in the anime. The anime adaptation of Persona 4, I should say. Century game. The fact that Ultraman series have since Mebius to an extent to now are giving aliens actual names to refer to themselves as their name. I mean, they still do that, but it's not that same interchangeable element as could be crippling in prior generations. Possibly because, like, it's not just the monster. The monsters are recognized as being character, and if they're sentient and sapiens, of course they have to be distinguished from others of their kind. Rather, so it would be cool to have a Persona game where the main character has a defined personality, isn't a self-insert. Yes. Here, so that's the way. Death. I mean, we had the demons and mutants in Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force. Those weren't named after the faction that creates them in those series. They were in... The demons were in Go-Go 5, but not in Lightspeed. The Cyma Beasts were... They still fit that. And I realized I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. The gate lock's right below me, so I again went the wrong way. Oh, right, still have it on Quest Tracker. Oops.
Easy to forget that, you know?
It's surprised. Yeah, I just wonder why they hired the voice actor for Joker when he's barely speaking. Yeah, Jun Fukuyama. Again, the voice is an actor allusion to when he portrayed Lelouch, but that's still...
Oh, you got Jun Fukuyama to voice a character and you're not really doing much?
Yeah.
Make it.
Might try to figure out how to get there otherwise. That's a platform. Here. Yeah, not far enough.
Listen, I was curious.
So... Okay, I did not mean to drop all the way over there and...
Go on.
It's definitely 2 layers of oops.
I'm just imagining, like, Amos or Blue Sky cut to a montage of Sean falling. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, there it is. I did not see that on the map earlier. Probably because it's hidden right behind that conveyor belt.
Infernal Cross-Cell.
Cross-cell. Probably need to.
Or not that
Brian, go look at the combat at Xenoblade Chronicles. It's essentially similar to an MMORPG, right? Kinda, you get fewer buttons, and the recharge time for various abilities is longer, and you don't get a full, easily accessible toolkit, but it is kind of in that vein of how, like, Final Fantasy XIV deals with things.
Which is a cool way of doing it.
Yes.
When I was in the bathroom, I checked my eyes, and one of them is still a little bit bloodshot.
Okay, so, exhaustion.
Yeah.
Hey, this question. Thoughts on the recently announced P Bandai F80 model kits?
Nice.
Okay, F80 is not really my thing.
Wait, hit me up when the announced Bolt Gundam.
Yeah. Because we have to complete that set of G Gundam kits at some point. Unless, which would be the frustrating thing, they finally put them to retail like they did all the Gundam Wing kits that were previously P Bandai.
That would piss me off, actually, to be honest.
Yeah. Like, they should have been retail kits from the fucking start.
Look, it's Kevin James. Oh, no, Kevin Smith, not Kevin James. Kevin James is Paul Blart all the time.
Kevin Smith is Dogma.
Yes. High velocity. How high velocity is it?
Are they face planting to the ground as it moves?
Do that. High velocity? That's medium. That's...
I can't even look fully up. Which is probably a good way to cover that this is just basically a loading screen. I'm not complaining, it is. They can't even see the bottom either. Which isn't, again, I'm not complaining. This is a good way to hide how you layer the graphical render for something that was originally supposed to be on the Wii, but it's still noticeable. There it goes.
It's noticeable if you know what you're looking at. It's like a magic trick, you know?
Alright, are we gonna end up opening a vault? Are we gonna be releasing people from a fallout shelter, or is this going to be, like, Borderlands?
Nope, it's a giant hallway.
Still better than Final Fantasy 13.
Wow, Country Mile. Like, this is just insanity, like, how big this is, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, we're at, what, the hip right now?
Hips don't lie.
Are you okay?
She looks very tired. Should she not get some rest?
Thank you. But really, I'm okay.
No. We'll find a safe place to rest. We've hardly stopped since we left the village.
Ricky tired too. Ricky tummy rumble.
I'm with you. Time to park our...
Get down!
A Mechon assault! Can anyone see them?
Another vision. Nice one, Shulk.
No, it wasn't.
Sure?
Folks just getting too good at this now.
You did well to evade me. Just what you'd expect from he who wields the Monado.
That voice.
Of course, the flashback scene would tie that in.
What do we do, Shulk?
We fight. But don't kill him.
Thought you might say that.
First stage, it's just... Any face over there. Carlin?
Yeah, I have a feeling I know where this is going. It's more thematically appropriate like this.
Yep.
So, I can hide like this and avoid that?
Yep. That's the way it works. You're basically moving upwards as you get to the vision got canceled, so you can move up now. That's basically saying, get behind cover.
So I was kind of doing it from the outset because I saw how this was gonna go. Like I'm psychic or something.
And also, like, if you're around the levels of the enemy area, like, those shots would have been one shot. One would have died. I see you. Linear laser 4.
thought that was coming from the laser that was just about to shoot at me. Or shoot me.
They're almost there.
Freaking snipers.
Sniper, no sniping. There he is. You can just rush towards him. Bomb rush him.
That didn't take long.
Gado! It's you, isn't it? Please answer me! Let me see you!
Dun.
Gado!
Always gonna have a character that looks like that.
I knew you were alive!
Gado! Is that Sharla's boyfriend?
The destruction of the Monado. That is the will of Lord Egil.
Gado?
What do you mean, Lord? What's Egil done to you?
What's wrong, Gado? Why would you say that? Speak to me, Gado!
This world is in disarray. I must eliminate the cause of this disorder and restore the world to its original form. That is my duty. Nay, the will of the world. Now, the time has come. The time to restore order.
Gado! Stop!
How much for Ziggy Stardust over here?
Gado!
Sharla!
Guess we're no longer waiting for Godot.
Yeah, it's coming. Also, I don't think he's...
Yeah, his entire speech is definitely in that false god vein. Thinks he's speaking with the will of their creator, not realizing they're defaming
in which there
their
is no
efforts.
need for fear. The hour draws near.
That arrogance.
Our will shall soon be done. First, there is the matter of the Monado. Our victory can only be assured if we destroy the Monado before it's too late. I sense your existence. I know you are alive. Zanza, the hour is upon us. Your time has come.
Shulk.
Meanwhile,
Who's
in space.
calling my name?
It's your boyfriend.
Shulk, you have acquired the ability to glimpse the future. The ability to understand the law of causality as decided by a higher power.
A higher power? Like the Bionis?
Why do you desire to change the future? Why do you wish to act against their will?
I do just as anyone would do. It is natural to want to change an unhappy future. If that is their will,
a body of water and
then I choose to fight.
If that is what you wish,
forgetting the singer's name.
Then you must find your Monado.
Yeah, Hikaru Utada music starts playing.
My Monado.
At your Monado.
Precisely. The one true Monado.
You can't do that. Because... you aren't here. Not anymore.
That's right, Shulk. I'm you, you're me, and Monado.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
That was a close one. I mean, how on Bionis did we survive that?
I mean, you're not on the Bionis, so...
I don't know. It could be that we were just lucky, but I'm sure there must be more to it than that.
You were protected by the power of Lady Mayneth.
Who's there?
A machina.
Are you... Vanea?
Vanea? Does that mean you're Mikol's daughter?
I am glad you are safe, Lady Mayneth.
Lady Mayneth?
That's right. Fiora's got a whole other mecha waifu stuck in her head.
That face was sent to destroy you.
I'm just imagining like a
truly happy
DBT
you're
abridged
alright.
Piccolo situation.
You're lying. Gado would never try and hurt us. Sadly, his home's memories no longer remain. The current faces are nothing more than weapons, designed to annihilate all life on Bionis. It can't be. Faces are created by directly integrating the brainstem and metabolic organs of Homs into Mechon. Memories and emotion are nothing but a hindrance to an effective weapon. However, the early faces were experimental. Many retained memories from their former lives. This prevented them from executing their missions effectively. More recent faces have had all memories of their previous lives completely erased.
Is that because of me?
No, it is not your fault.
Mumkar seems the more likely candidate. His attachment to us was too strong. You could say it caused his destruction.
That sword one and all.
You are correct. No, it's not true. Oh, my Gado.
Sharla?
Explain it to me. I mean, why does Egil want to make us into Mechon? What's the reason for all this?
In order to counter the Monado.
I knew it.
The Monado is ineffective against the High Entia, the Homs, against all races of Bionis. Egil suffered a bitter defeat in the battle 1 year ago. After that, he theorized that he could counter the Monado by integrating organic life from Bionis.
Of course. Initially, the Monado couldn't take a Hom's life.
It can now, though.
It could not harm those who share the blood of Zanza. That was its sole weakness. But Zanza lifted that constraint.
Those who share the blood of Zanza? Who is that giant?
The progenitor of the Homs.
Him?
And once the friend of my brother Egil, before they became sworn enemies. It was Zanza who devastated MECHONIS.
What?
Turns out we're the buttheads. Dang bearded giant. Look, what kind of messed up world is this where you can't trust a giant bearded guy?
Wow. Look at that. Are they the Havres?
They're the latest anti-Mechon weapons, designed by Lorothea and the Ministry of Research. What a glorious sight. The coming together of all the peoples of Bionis.
Yes, sir.
This is how it should always have been. Then perhaps Father would not.
Your Highness.
We are fortunate that Dixon informed us of the enemy's new weapon.
Or is it?
Our defenses are ready. Today, we start our campaign against Galahad Fortress. Just beyond the fortress lies the imperial capital of MECHONIS. This is a battle to determine not just our own fates, but the future of all life on Bionis. We fight for future prosperity and the glory and honor of all. Troops, advance!
Send out the Nopons. What are a bunch of Nopons gonna do?
Why non-pun know-how?
Shows a bunch of Nopons already beating a bunch of Mechon to death.
Are you saying that Zanza is to blame for MECHONIS devastation? It's Zanza's sword that I'm using. Does this mean we're enemies? And if so, why are you...
Shulk, calm down.
Sorry, I
will take you to the MECHONIS capital, Agniratha.
Is that your plan? Lead us straight to the gates of our enemy? Deliver us into Egil's hands?
It will be quicker to show you than to explain. Then you will understand the history of MECHONIS and the battle between the two titans.
It's like,
Up
whatever
ahead
it
is a
is,
lift
it's not
that
like the
leads
kind of
to
thing you can just
central
discuss in the
factory
giant hallway.
within the chest of the MECHONIS. The capital, Agniratha, lies just beyond there.
I got them. Realizing we did. That was. Back to that.
And there's a quest down there. Oh, that's right. That's like the secret camp that we do.
Yeah. Yeah, this.
Ah, so you see that? You're.
I gotta go down. Like. There is another path.
There, it's again. Yeah, that's the thing. At the thing. It's
Probably have to go left. I went, or have to go right. I went left. Or
up the ladders.
Pure Death question: when is a sword not a sword? He obviously.
When it says Zubasa. The order went by. Get into the right spot.
Yeah. There we are.
Yes.
So, gonna let him.
Freeze, I compared non-puns to both Pompas, Moogles, and Xenogears Choo-Choos. And whatever those online things were in Xenosaga, I forget the name of them. They had another, like, cute mascot thing outside of just Cold. There we go. And I realized because of the rank order, I sold all the high-level stuff instead of the low-level stuff. Again, there's a reason why those should be swappable between both in a scoring, or in a sorting system.
At least you're getting rid of all his inventory space.
Yeah.
And also, you're already pretty kitted out, so it's not like...
It doesn't matter as much, yeah. There, Death, don't forget the Chim Chims from .xgu. No, the mascot characters in .xgu are the Grunties.
I wonder what a Death's Grunty look like.
Oh.
They'll make more street. No.
Press the wrong button again.
Pull the wrong lever? How dare you? You're making so much bank.
Okay, cleared half of that out. We should be good. I don't love games where you don't really get how they have all that inventory, all that money for you to buy them out.
Ooh, population change.
Ranking change.
Yep.
Me.
I'll have to do these side quests later.
Yep.
But I'm gonna collect them now. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have all of them in spades, then.
Me.
Reinforced plunger.
Fair Death, so question, does anyone want to talk about the announcements from Toy Fair from a few weeks ago? Which ones? Like, I forget the combiner's name. Or the Skybite? The new HasLab one. Lio Kaiser, that's it.
Lio Kaiser. Oh, and then what's right here? What do you need?
Yeah, it's like, nothing Transformers related I think I really want is just stuff from RID at this point.
What do you need?
Like, I could do with some more Armada stuff, but it's like, it's a finances thing where I don't really want to collect much of the way of Transformers until I can really have the spare money to invest in it. And I put a lot into savings I don't think is qualifiable as wasteful expense. Plus, you know, space limitations here. We've already got a bunch of stuff we don't really know where to display.
Yep.
And it did a bunch of those. I can go back and do those at any time.
Or like after the spring, yeah.
Yeah. Saying.
Anyways, back to the quest. Yeah, I did die in that snowdrift. I think it's Pi Day, right?
Theater reviews. My question looks awesome, but current circumstances means it's gonna have to skip it, which is unfortunate because of the limitations and availability for HasLab items. What's interesting? Do you think Transformers should start pushing other Autobots unknown to the West more, like Starsaber? I mean, they did put do him as one of the first HasLab items, so I think the idea just HasLab stuff is things that they don't think will sell well, but they really want to do because of the unique circumstances of their construction or value franchise. Yeah, maybe make a Transformer series where the protagonist isn't Optimus Prime. I mean, we've had, like, what, two? One was Optimus Primal, the other was a sequel to Transformers Prime with Bumblebee in charge. Like, the Hasbro Transformers people are just so afraid of doing something tangibly different that moves away from stuff that's already been done. Like, a bunch of Transformers series are different, I'm not going to deny that, but there's points where they all share commonality, either in design or those they focus on. Like, I am one of those people who never liked Bumblebee, so Bumblebee being the focus for so long in the franchise is off-putting. Like, for the kid appeal character among the cast, I grew up in seeing more of Season 3 Transformers after the movie time period, and Beast Wars and the Unicron trilogy. So the kid appeal character that grows up character for me has always been more in the lines of Rodimus, who's new to power, Cheetor, because he has a long arc through Beast Wars and Machines, and Hotshot, who unfortunately got to character reset because of how the Unicron trilogy wasn't the most planned out.
Central. Not a central factory.
Black King, as much as I love Bumblebee, we need to bring up some characters that need development. Like, does anyone remember Ironhide? Ah, yes, Ironhide, the character that was supposed to be in Transformers Prime, but didn't because of how the Breakdown storyline was handled. As in, Breakdown, I mean the character, not the storyline breaking down.
This is the central factory within the chest of the MECHONIS. Can you see the ring up ahead? At the base of that ring is a transporter that leads to Agniratha. We must first head there. This place is full of autonomous security, Mechon.
Oh, this is where you're gonna see some big boys. No.
Shinta wasn't Century Factory era used in Xenoblade 3 as part of Origin?
Might have been. It might have been. It's been a bit.
In a few years.
It's been a while.
I Asset reuse is not bad if it's used wisely. If you're doing nothing but reuse assets, then it could be more of a problem.
Oh, it's Wikipedia. Oh, I got it all.
Yep. Wait, explain more down with the Breakdown storyline. Apparently, Breakdown was supposed to transition into being Ironhide or something like that. Again, I'm not the most aware of Transformers Prime stuff. That was just something I was told recently secondhand. Or the Breakdown storyline was meant to lead into Ironhide's introduction, and they couldn't for some reason. It's one or the other. I'm forgetting the specific details. Just it was part of Breakdown storyline where they ended it earlier than expected. Good reviews. I swear Ironhide was replaced by Bulkhead because of animated's popularity, which I don't mind because Bulkhead rules, but it's still weird. Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, like... I wish I had added Energon Cyber Optimus Prime.
Like, that third-party one apparently has decent engineering, but it's third-party, and we're not the biggest Transformers people to indulge in third-party all that much.
And also, like, I don't know, just there was, like, a lot of Transformers stories that I saw as a kid, but I'm like, man, I'd love that.
Apparently it combines best with Wing Saber, which Wing Saber's a brick specifically for the combination, so they better work well together.
What is my purpose in life? Your brick that equips to Optimus. Oh my god.
Your arms and shoes for a prime.
Oh my god. This music though. Like, how much energy do you think it's being used in this factory alone?
Just to move everything, it has to have a pretty sizable power. But then again, it is draining energy from the Bionis, or ether from the Bionis, so that's probably how some of this is powered.
Be good, clean energy. Looks like the energy used to power this place is 100% biodegradable.
Ah!
Get it? Hey, listen, I can make a good joke every now and then. But we all know, hey, listen, chat, just be glad I don't have the Pondomicon with me.
Yes, it's up there. Upstairs. Hidden.
And just be glad I didn't see any, I didn't look any further into the Pondomicon 2.
It's beige.
Yeah, so when I was on vacation, it turns out that my sister had another joke book that was similar to the Pondomicon that I have here. And I told him about it, and then he was like, Alexis, no. Because I should not be given that much power.
Yeah. Sure, to be fair, both the Energon and Cybertron Wing Saber combinations are really good in my opinion. I prefer Savage Claw mode for Cybertron Optimus Prime, but that's because I like his base backpack more than he looks in Sonic Wing mode.
Hero of Death. Oh my god, Alexis made a good joke. It's a sign of the apocalypse. Run for your lives. Hateful Lancelot. Ha! Yeah, right. A Fateful Lancelot? What are you gonna tell me next? That Suzaki's actually a decent person? You know, I gotta appreciate Media Hoods for your, saying, Alexis, yes. You know, thank you for championing me saying all the bad puns I want.
There's only so many that can be done. They realize that black styrene is just burnt plastic, right?
No, it's a magical thing.
Another reason I wanted to get to the capital is just so I can do the Arrest the Colony 6 quests and then finish that on stream next week, if possible. Offensive dairy. Didn't realize Mechons were lactose intolerant.
They must perish.
We're the best. Let's stay alert. We've
Never
definitely
enjoyed
gotten
pizza.
stronger.
Exactly.
John 556, was Shulk a soldier or military researcher? Just an engineer.
He was a nerd.
Temporal Gawain. Lelouch, what are you doing here?
Time traveling? Ryan Gold, we need a new Transformers anime done by Studio Trigger. Yeah,
yes.
Let Studio Trigger.
I mean, technically, that was already Gridman, but
like actual Studio Trigger Transformers anime would go so hard. They got behind it. That done so much damage.
Let's get going. We've definitely gotten stronger.
Ryan Gold agreed, mediocre, agreed, preferably one that focuses on lesser focused characters like Skids or Squeeze Play. I have no recollection of who Squeeze Play is, but I think the reason why Skids doesn't get any focus is because of the whole Revenge of the Fallen incident. As SF Debris put it in his reviews of that, damn you Skids, I scrubbed toilets for you. Because his joke was he forgot about taxes when he was trying to buy Megatron as a kid, so he didn't have enough money for it, and instead of just waiting another couple weeks to have the pay he needed, he immediately bought the next Transformer they had, which was Skids. Skids is terrible, regardless of continuity.
Look at that giant thing.
Yeah. That's things. Compared to Japanese Transformer shows have always, unfortunately, been a mixed bag. The only officially good ones are technically Super God, Master Force, Victory, and the two Beast Wars sequels. Part of the problem with Transformers is, in Japan, is Takara, where they keep doing a gag dub to make it more comedic when the interest is in the serious elements of the conflict. They undermine their own points, and they do that with basically every one of their shows where such isn't natively built into the narrative. It's why a lot of companies just stopped working with Takara for anything, because they would be overly hands-on and exploited in them doing the contracts. Basically, everything Tomino claims Bandai did but didn't actually do is what Takara actually does, even though it harms every part of the developmental process to be that hands-on. You should want someone like Bandai where they're hands-off and trust the the creators of the media they hire to do their damn jobs without hand-holding. E.T. Potato.
What about me, Tomato?
Uni likes it either way.
Eh.
John 556. Also, poor Beyblade as it belongs to them too. Yeah.
Rip.
Again, so many companies hate working with Takara because of how oppressive they can be with their nonsense.
Well, they really don't have to be.
They don't need to be. They'd be getting better shows and better returns if they stop the worst comedic nonsense. It always undermines anything they're doing.
Game Factory.
By chance, Studio Trigger might have more control of Transformers anime. It might vary on how much they don't want to deal with the bullshit.
Need to bake an explosive.
All along the watchtower.
I'm really feeling it.
Yay, Shulk. Go you.
Come on, we can do it. Don't run. This will be the mark. Set your edge. It's over. I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
Right, let's keep going.
Death also don't forget Beat 'em On and Bomberman. I know nothing about those. Brungle, from what I hear in the scenes, Takara just can't comprehend the idea of Americans liking a serious Transformers anime dub. Pretty much. They really do undermine it every time.
Defensive scout. We're just gonna kill this guy.
Damn. And before people might say, oh, well, it must work in their market, it actually doesn't. Transformers Prime actually got slaughtered in reception, and specifically because of the dub. Like, you know how people will go sub or dub? If they do a bad dub, we'll watch the sub only. For that stuff, that actually happened with Transformers Prime for people, for Japanese audiences, where they got the English dub version and just turned on subtitles.
But we mustn't be careless.
Like, why do a gag dub at all? It makes no sense. Like, what's the purpose for it?
Like, what is the actual appeal outside of, localizer arrogance?
You'll be gone before you know what we got through that pretty good.
Right, let's keep going.
I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
Granted, that wasn't in full effect with Transformers, Armada, Energon, and, or rather, Superlink,
Superlink and, Galaxy Force.
Yeah, the issue more there was just the productions were rushed. Like, ridiculously rushed. Due to the cross-development agreement between Hasbro and Takara on them to make them the best of both, and yet the good storytelling was undermined by how the animation was just not good because it was being shoved out the door heavily on crunch every week. The American version being worse because they got time to correct it for the Japanese broadcast that came later. Franco, localizer arrogance is becoming a bit of a problem lately when it comes to Japanese products. Not made any worse by the job because of all this discontent over it being outsourced to machine translations, which are explicitly worse. So it's rock and a hard place. And not because none of them gives an actual faithful, respectful, stays in context translation. Again, there's so many things done in localization where you didn't need to go the extra mile. What we wanted was just the simplest option without a bunch of egregious changes, because the egregiously you change something, the more you produce something that is in context wrong, because it doesn't properly connect to what comes later, and the localizer will not realize what came later, because it's so long past when they did the original changes, it will not connect to them, but it will be paid attention by everybody else. Like the, again, from my Persona reviews, labeling Futaba's sin as sloth when it is contextually correctly wrath, where that plays into the long game because the main villain wants to induce a state of sloth, and he can't double up on the sins because no one else doubles up on the sins. Black Citrus King, which one was the one who did the Generation Transformers that had the female side character kept getting involved annoyingly in the battles? I don't remember the name of the series. That was Transformers RID 2001. It had a running gag where a female character that related to nothing just kept coming across Transformers incidents. Sometimes she was involved by just the character's sideburn because she kept having red cars, and Sidebird's thing was red cars. Triangle, what makes these localization problems is when there are localizers who know what they're doing and then pull the bigot card and actual critics of their work. That's not it. The people who don't know what they're doing tend to dismiss criticism by claiming bigotry. The ones who do know what they're doing are usually not the ones who get criticized all that often. They are questioned at times, sometimes they admit to making mistakes, sometimes they are rushed, but then there are people who deliberately don't do their jobs and try and make it everybody else's problem. Sometimes you just can't get rid of a need to build a bomb. And that's, of course, all not getting into, like, personal beliefs that don't actually factor into a person's individual work. People can have shitty beliefs, but be able to disassociate them to just do their job, and that's fine. That's the proper amount of dissociation. But, you know, when you inflict your personality on someone else through your work, that's a problem.
Now let's blow something up.
Also, there's the other angle about localization that needs to also be kept in mind. Sexual censorship. Like, I remember it out of the blue a thing about Transformers RID from 2001, where there had to be additional censorship due to contextual sensitivity because of September 11th. Which, that's not something you can really blame the localization team for when you have incidents like that happen. Now, changing other material that had no association with it or happened before such an incident, that's different. That shouldn't have been censored. But sometimes you just have no choice in that matter. Which again is different from just screwing up on the outset. Built on rock and roll?
No, I built the city on pure evil. Don't you know what I did? I built it on ska and country music.
Why? Why?
And I'm evil. Can you imagine it? A ska and country music hybrid song?
Why?
Get ready for a new dance ska mix about somebody's tractor. I am clearly a great evil that needs to be stopped, am I right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, you can't stop me.
I actually can. No pizza for you.
What? You can do that?
Can't I?
You can stop me from getting pizza.
I'm the one who drives the car.
Son of a... So you're denying me passage into your car? Son of a bitch. Got my one weakness, folks. I can't live without pizza.
M88 worst? No, Misaka worst is like the 20,000th and second. You have the wrong serial number for her.
Misaka worst. That sword is adorable.
I really like our vibe.
Me too, Fiora. You're not invincible. Manano, entrapped! Electric Dustbuster! I won't let you go, Fiora. You have become a tiny town.
Superb, this guys. Let's do it. I'm feeling pretty good.
You have become a formidable fighter. That was too easy.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
But we mustn't be careless.
Reese, Pokemon Horizons character design for Gibeon resembles Xenoblade 3 Zet's human form. He really doesn't.
Not really,
I just
no.
looked that up to compare, and not every... The only commonality is they have white hair, and not every character with white hair is evil. Or even with that hairstyle is evil. They don't have the same hairstyle, they just have white hair. We had a mirror or a laser bouncing shield. I'm gonna pull out the Ratchet and Clank arsenal. They'll never expect our armada, Dipinator. point of this is. Like, this just seems like it's superfluously there.
It's cool.
Is it, though? Oh boy, just going after the stuff in the capital is going to take a while. Probably. Like, we got an hour left before we're going to end the stream, so we can probably get to the capital. But, who knows, I might do some item collection. Well, I'll have to do a bunch of item collection once we're done. Theater reviews. Bizarre question. Who least favorite Joker is and Jared Leto? I'm not a fan of John DiMaggio's performance. Fair. I think it's Kevin Michael Richardson who voiced him in The Batman. I kind of like that one because it could go a bit more extreme. Whereas Mark Hamill, while he's the best, tends to be more calculated insanity, if that makes sense.
Like, he was really insane, but you can also tell that there was a level of
there was a method to his madness.
Right. It was like chaos, but like an orchestral chaos.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
Like a person who playing things off tune, but just slightly off tune. John556, thoughts on Batman Beyond Return of the Joker? It's a really good movie. Shamed it had to be censored a bit for broadcast, but at least it was uncensored in all home video releases.
It's Joker and Batman bringing them both from terror of death.
Jeff Bennett.
Johnny Bravo?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of fits. And he's voiced a lot of stuff over the years. He was Kowalski in Penguins of Madagascar. Jock von Hamsterville and Lilo and Stitch, the TV series.
Hamsterville.
People can have a vocal range. Fox King. I actually like both deaths of the Joker, both the censored and uncensored versions. Both are literally his own fault. Yeah, I think that's why it works both ways. It does work both ways. People can get mad at the unnecessary censorship, but it's not the most egregious of examples on that.
Finally decided to show up. Let's see if we can bust these rust buckets like last time.
Think we can do it?
We'll get them. With this many troops on our side, we don't even need Shulk's help.
You're telling me you're more worried about the kid's schedule? Kinda soft for you, Atharan.
Shinta, get moving!
Division 4, defend the barrier. Division 6, assist any wounded Homs.
Once we get to MECHONIS capital, we can just probably focus on dealing with side quests for a bit.
That idiot! He'll get his head knocked off at this rate. Ha! it up! Show everyone the power of the Yopon!
David saying, I remember Mark Hamill's Joker being described as being a mix between the three main characteristics of the Joker, the gangster, the prankster, and the psycho. It's a great way of describing it, and yes.
If we hold our current position, a great
It fits into that multiple choice angle.
It is still too early to come to that conclusion. The enemy still has hidden forces.
Your Highness, enemy reinforcements approaching from above. It's a face squadron.
They're here. Divisions 1 to 3 continue supporting the Homs, and it's
Good reviews. Wasn't the whole three Jokers thing a stupid retcon that nobody liked and was never mentioned again? Them being separate people, yes. The characteristics of the Joker in the extremes he swayed between, not so much. Like, they should not have made the Joker three different people.
Who hasn't had a taste yet? Eat this! Should have stayed at home, lousy junk bots.
They're doing rather well. I do so enjoy a good show. But they have yet to unleash their power and fulfill their true potential.
Deadbeat drones! Come out and face us like real machines! I'll sort out the lot of you, scum!
Handlebar mustache.
Easy. Watch that soldier, Waluigi.
Hey, we're at Agranatha. Wikipedia is good here. Well, maybe one area where we haven't completed anything. I'm missing that one item in Colony 6 that's a rare spawn. Allegedly a rare spawn. Planet's interior isn't complete yet. Magna Forest is missing like that one thing. Huh. We're almost done with that.
Good.
Yeah, we might be able to wrap up the game, like, next week, give or take. Might be a bit shorter, have to take a longer, stretch through the,
Yeah, like, honestly, like, now that we're here at the capital, it is definitely just get as many side quests as you possibly can done.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I hit here, I think I was just more concerned about getting the story over with. But I never saw what happens if you do complete all the stories. I mean, side quests, I mean. You know what I meant.
Yeah. We're close on that as well.
So this is the MECHONIS capital?
Yes, Agniratha. The heart of the Machina civilization.
It looks so desolate. Like there are no signs of anyone living here.
It truly is a soulless city.
Here, bad place. Ricky want to go.
So the Machina built this whole city. Not too shabby.
It looks like the buildings have been here for a very long time.
Look, Shulk. Dino Beast. dino beast eat city.
A dino beast? Here? But how?
It is a Telethia. It looks like it's stone. Why would there be a Telethia in a place like this? The fossilized Telethia are what remain of the beasts that attacked the capital in the ancient battle. Why did the Telethia attack your city? Wasn't the ancient battle only between the Bionis and the Mechonis themselves?
No, that was the first round.
The answer to your question can be found in that tower, the data center.
Because the Force spelled T-R-E instead of
It is better
T-R
that you see
because
with your own
British.
eyes. Only then will you truly understand what happened between the Bionis and the Mechonis.
Because clearly this footage cannot be faked. Of course it'd be the Dreads. Oh, I can only imagine there are so many of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to spend a few hours on these. Possibly tonight, possibly tomorrow.
Pizza and Xenoblade? That sounds like a hell of a time.
I thought we'd do something else. Like, I thought we were gonna try to work more through Thousand Year Door.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what we're...
Or we could do more Drive. Like, we're on the last quarter of the show. We could be wrapping that up tonight. Topping Turtle doesn't care if you're organic or synthetic, just that you pay up front. Good 556. I don't know if people asked this, but any hopes for the next Digimon story game? I want to see Chronomon in it. I would like to see Chronomon too. I love that Digimon. And it's unfortunate they only have appeared in, like, 2 games.
Chronomon?
Chronomon was a major character in the Digimon story games for the Nintendo DS. Their powers weren't exactly time-based, but they're a giant holy bird whose arms can be full. They basically look like Taurine.
Let me see. I'm looking up the... Oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah. Again, there are a lot of Digimon that are great, but don't get in a lot of the games because the focus is more on, you know, legacy Digimon from the main series.
It looks like the power's up and running.
Yeah, since the new game is going to be based around time bullshit, just let it not be stupid time travel shit, because I hate Japanese use of time travel because they don't keep to a consistent rule set. And for a story to be good about time travel, it pretty much requires you have a consistent use of a rule set.
What is that?
It's like, if you're stuck in a causal loop, you can't be going multiversal or branching time travel because the causal loop is sealed. it's self-contained.
No way.
If it's not, if it can branch, then it's not a causal time loop.
These are memories of a time long forgotten.
Oh, great.
Fiora. Hey.
They were left behind by the Machina before they abandoned this place, so that others may know their story.
Her voice sounds like...
In ancient times, when the Bionis and the MECHONIS came into existence, I was born as well. Just as the Bionis had a soul, I came to exist in this world.
It's like,
As
what
the
does
soul
Takahashi
in
and
the
company
comics.
mean when they said the giant machine titan was also a girl?
I created my
I mean, they keep
children
doing
on
girl
MECHONIS
robots as mascots,
and
so...
acquired this body. They called themselves Machina. And MECHONIS was transformed into a world brimming with life. The Machina gave rise to an advanced civilization and built this great city.
This city?
Can't
We
believe
built
it used
this
to be
city.
So lively.
They lived their lives in peace.
What could
and
possibly happen?
The gentle Machina worshipped me.
Riley, it's funny enough, the only
Like
Japanese story about time
horses
travel I find
flourished
decent
on
is the original Final Fantasy with Chaos and the Four Fiends. Even then, that storyline has a lot of paradoxes in it that aren't self-contained, so even it's kind of frustrating. Not as
The
frustrating as
Machina
later
generously
attempts to
shared the
exploit
fruits
the
of their
story
civilization
device, admittedly,
peoples of
but
the
it's still
Bionis.
not it's still not great. It's functional enough, but not
They
much more.
believed their two worlds would grow hand in hand. Then, a terrible fate descended on them from above.
Yeah.
Is that...
Betrayal!
But why?
Betrayed me!
Why would the Bionis...
Everything changed with Bionis
Wielding the
attack.
sword of light, the
Light come
Bionis
forth.
attempted to destroy the Machina.
It's like, what the heck, you jerk!
Are those Telethia?
It's like, I love this whole reveal because it just transforms what we
tried
thought of
to
the
save the
Bionis and,
Machina.
oh, what are they gonna
I
do against a
confronted
bunch
the
of
Bionis.
robots and
And
stuff, and then
so,
it's like,
I
oh,
confronted
no,
Zanza.
no, no, you don't get it.
Zanza?
The battle waged on and on. Even as our life force is depleted, Zanza and I continued to fight. However, it did at last come to an end.
Cut my arm off!
The giant.
This is when Zanza was imprisoned.
Taking advantage of my final blow to the Bionis, its beings took Zanza and sealed him firmly away. However, the battle with Zanza had greatly consumed my life force. I warned the surviving Mechona.
Too bad Rex is
that the
about to kill her
Bionis
original
had not
body.
yet been destroyed.
I don't remember that.
And that one day,
I mean, Klaus was
he
half
would be
there. I thought,
released.
getting Maynard's
I'm the
original
one
name.
who released him.
Yeah, I thought she was completely
I then
consumed by
entered a
the
long and
contact
deep
experiment.
in preparation for Zanza's inevitable reawakening.
It's all clear to me what you wanted to do.
Galtea. Yeah,
Stop the
I don't
battle
remember us
between the
doing that.
Bionis and the MECHONIS.
Fiora. I see now. It was her inside you.
Yes. Lady Mayneth desired a body in which she could be free. And after you were captured by Egil's Mechon, it was I who transferred her soul into your body.
But why did it have to be my body?
Because you are close to Shulk. The heir to the Monado.
They say having a magic sword is going to be awesome and cool and everything, but then there's all this responsibility and really dark stuff that
It was
comes
all
with
because
it.
of our world, because of Bionis, that this city was devastated.
Now I understand why Egil would want to stop the Bionis from reawakening.
I get it too. But how's killing any of us gonna solve his problem?
Precisely. What happened to the Machina was a tragedy. But we cannot forgive the Mechon attack on Bionis.
What worries me is the Monado.
Basically
that Bionis
refuting the
used.
idea that the sins of the
It's no
father should be
different from
carried
how the
on
legends describe,
and
but
owned by
still.
the children.
It must
That
hold
pops
a
up in a
deadly
lot of
power.
Japanese media.
But you
Because
have
if
used
you
it
do
wisely,
that
Shulk.
shit, it only furthers the
It has not
conflict.
overwhelmed
Yeah.
you, as it did me.
He's right.
Should only continue on to the
If you
children
hadn't
if the
been using the
children
Monado,
share the
we wouldn't have
ideals
lasted
that
5
were
minutes.
corruptive about the parents, and you need to
But it
correct
was
them about
Zanza
it.
who bestowed this sword upon me.
However, it is not Zanza who now wields the Monado. It is you, Shulk. That is also the reason why Mayneth chose Fiora as a vessel. So that the tragedy of he who wields the Monado would not be repeated.
The tragedy of he who wields the Monado.
Shulk, believe. Believe in the path you have chosen, and those who walk it with you. Mayneth once said this of the Monado. The Monado is not simply a unique weapon. It is the light within each and every person in this world.
Light? What do you
Oh,
mean?
I
It
did
is
not
the light
remember
of
that.
life.
What?
The will
Meredith,
to
remember the
survive
goop monsters
no
at the
matter
bottom
what.
of the world tree? The big
Perhaps
boss fight
Lady
one
Mayneth
was
drawn to your
Galtea,
light.
aka Mayneth's original body.
Beyond there lies
Oh,
the
that
Mayneth
thing,
shrine.
yeah.
Yeah, I had
Egil
no
will be there.
recollection of that.
Is it still your intention to defeat Egil? That has not changed.
We understand the history of Mechonis now.
Probably something
If
we
he's willing to
missed.
listen,
I just pulled it up on the
we
wiki.
will
When
try to
Party
reason
defeats
with
the
him.
Infernal Goldel,
But
Rex
if
picks
not,
up an ID card with the same picture
I
as Galtea's
understand.
ID. However, as revealed in Xenoblade
Then,
3
if
official
that
arts
is your
Ionis
decision,
moments, the ID
so
just
be it.
belongs to an ordinary woman,
I
not
will try to persuade
Galtea.
Egil one last
Ah,
time.
okay.
Okay, so they said that
but
that
I
wasn't
am
actually
prepared
her.
for his refusal.
I guess the implication they need to clarify.
Vinaya. I know Vinaya said she'll try to persuade him, but she didn't sound confident.
We have to go after her.
But how do we get to the shrine from here?
Up ahead is a transporter leading to the shrine. But it's inactive. We need to trigger the verification devices to activate it. We'll find one at the top of each of the 4 pillars. If we trigger them all, we can use the transporter.
How Fiora know that?
Mayneth's memories. She tells me these things.
Do you know how to trigger them?
Maybe my body itself is the key.
Okay. Then let's get searching.
Anyways.
Looking up some lore stuff. Okay, we're good.
Good thing. How did you find it?
That is a very good question. Where is it?
Oh, is it?
Alright, Gold, it's crazy that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has been happening concurrently with Shulk's story. And I like that parallel once you actually learn of it in Xenoblade Chronicles, since the same amount of time has passed since the original contact experiment that led them to being here.
Yeah.
Again, you don't mess with the Zohar.
But it's like, it's that kind of stuff that makes me, like, really appreciate storytelling of these. Is that, like, when that information is revealed in Xenoblade 2, it is earth-shattering. It's, like, you wouldn't expect this, but from how the story was presented itself up until that point.
And then stuff revealed in future redeemed for Xenoblade 3 implies that it's in continuity with the Xenosaga games, which, again, video releasing tomorrow talking more about that, but I get them trying to tie that lore together too with allusions and similarities, but Xenosaga kinda had to be abandoned for a reason, and I get into that tomorrow.
Yeah, honestly, like, how it, like, what their exact plans are will have to be what they do, like, with the future.
Yeah, it's like, if they continue to try and redeem Xenosaga's story after it got bad, we don't know at this point. It's just them trying to pull together everything that's been done throughout the Xeno series. And honestly, I feel like it would have been better just to leave Xenosaga as its own thing, and let the Xenoblade games have their own continuity, which is the next set of, the next place the Zohar showed up in another similar human universe. Human-focused universe. Like, maybe tie things with one better into cross instead of saying, no, the people who are attacking the power over the conduit was just these, people trying to assert themselves as governmental authority.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, maybe all answers will be revealed with Xenoblade Cross.
Like, maybe that'll be setting them together again, and there was, like, this disjointed point.
Right.
Something similar.
Yeah, like a schism happened, you know?
Or, like, they were all happening at the same time, they were just divorced from each other.
Right, like, so divorced that, and honestly, like, considering, like, if they do go that direction, I'm okay with that, because it makes the universe feel even bigger, that you can have, like, all three of these separate adventures going on at the same time, and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's on the top.
It's upstairs, yeah. Glorian Gold. Still doesn't stop Cosmos from making an appearance. No, it doesn't.
Like, honestly, nothing says Cosmos can't show up, but, like, maybe he's coming in from, like, the Xenosaga universe, you know what I mean?
Or it's like, because Cosmos has dimension travel before, and or maybe there's just more dimensional convergence stuff going on.
Yeah. The only thing Future Redeemed did do that I really appreciate is that it did confirm that, like, the world did get back together.
Yeah.
And, like, where the story goes from there is, like, is up to us to interpret, you know?
Until they specifically verify it.
Yeah. Which, if they do, then that's fine, too. It's like if they don't, they don't. If they do, then that's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like, it would take a lot to fix what's broken about Xenosaga.
Yeah.
I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
But at the very least, I'm glad that, like, Monolith Soft's direction where they can tell the story that they want to tell, and they're not being forced to,
change writers out of nowhere, which ruins the entire progression of what their narrative actually was.
Or like, how many game studios have you heard about where they have a distinct vision in mind, but then like some no-neck executive who doesn't know any better, like stick their nose in. You know what I mean?
Funny story.
What?
About the Xenosaga thing.
Yeah. But you get when Xenoblade, like Nintendo realizes, okay, these guys are money makers for us, and they do so much work for their.
Ryan Gold, Cosmos did appear in Super Robot Wars OG spin-off alongside Rei Jiasu and Zhao Mei from Namco Cross Capcom. Yes, I bring that up. It's Super Robot Wars OG Saga Endless Frontier 1 and 2. The first one actually did get released in America, but the problem was it wasn't advertised. I didn't know it existed until I was doing the Super Robot Wars V reviews, and even then I could only add in as a text blurb over my head with a correction because I learned about it so late. That's how, even when I was looking into all the Super Robot Wars stuff, people just did not remember that game happened.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate when that happens.
And then Momo from Xenosaga showed up in Namco Cross Capcom, and then Xenoblade, not Xenoblade, Project Cross Zone had Cosmos there with Kalos, and then the sequel had her with Yura. To again show the Xenosaga Blade connection is around. Then again, we just don't know the specifics of where they want to head with it yet. Whether that involves them doing a remaster of Xenosaga, which they need to negotiate the rights for with Namco Bandai, but I think they'd be willing to deal with that, considering they just did the Baten Kaitos duology as a new Switch remaster, so Namco Bandai is probably open to that. But it's just like, what Xenosaga ended up doing, the video will be going public tomorrow, it ended up just so damaging to anything else they wanted to do with the material. And I'm talking in the range of lightning returns damage, for people who don't have context. But if they want to fix it, they have the rights to.
Yeah. And if they can't fix it, and if they it actually works, then congratulations, you pulled off a trick that not any other game studio has actually successfully done.
Redeemed old material, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, granted, it took them 3 times with the Xeno series to actually get something good.
But
fans of Xenogears notwithstanding, or people who really like Xenosaga Episode 1 notwithstanding.
Yeah, but it's like,
Because there, again, I'll get it. The video is going public tomorrow. Xenosaga 1 is a good game. It's Xenosaga 2 and 3 where things got messed up. Resembles Kingdom Hearts Xehanort story. Not really. That implies Xehanort was always godly powerful when he's just a bitter old man who wanted power. Granted, Xehanort's just everything is ridiculously convoluted. How many people got Norded after all? Which one is the main one? Which one should I care about? The old guy? It might have been the old guy. But, there's so many Xehanorts, there's a point where you just can't care. don't remember if I asked you this or not, but I'm sorry if I forgot. But speaking of Bates and Kaidos, is there any chance of you doing it for stream? I mean, if they're doing the Switch releases, we might consider getting it, but probably not, considering there's all this other stuff we want to prioritize. Like, we're not certain when we're going to be able to do Final Fantasy XIV next. Not because we don't want to do it, but because, like, April might get busy with us doing Chronicles Cross, and then my mother's estate was finally settled, so I have to figure out with my family when would be a good time for us to meet up to finally spread her ashes. And we ideally wanted to do that when it's warm enough, when the, like spring weather enough, to be able to do that properly. And then Jana's convention's coming up later this month that blocks next month? One way or the other. That's gonna delay him from doing that. It's a Warhammer convention that's occurring in Milwaukee. He's gonna be inaccessible for a bit for that. So we might end up having to push that back to May, but I don't want it to be that long before we go back to that because I really want to do Stormblood. And then, of course, there's me taking overtime at work when it's available just because of the coming financial collapse that's already started that, I want to make sure that we have everything we need to not worry about expenses as much as we can. Yeah, it's a whole ordeal of things which are just coinciding.
What's being talked about?
Just updates on where we are and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And me complaining about how we're probably gonna have issues with being back to 14. Just due to lacking availability. Which, again, as I just told the chat, is disappointing because I really want to finally get to Stormblood.
Way to go, Shulk.
Good job, everyone.
It'd be okay if we fight like this.
But we mustn't be careless.
556, I really hope here in Brazil, fall comes soon. Summertime is scorching here. Yeah, it's been an extremely cold winter here as well that we're just tired of.
Why it's grimmer?
Paint it red.
Eh. Oh, don't forget to, oh, you are, it's already referred. Never mind.
That was too easy.
Let's press on and on and on.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Well, at the very least, I'm glad we're together.
Yeah.
Good job, everyone.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
But we mustn't be careless.
Over and kill those things. Speaking of which, it's a cold winter when I'm complaining about the cold. I have a crazy high cold tolerance, and even this year was pushing it.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
Time for a chain attack.
I can do it. I know I can.
Well, by the way, this one game streamer I follow, Nick Call, his next game in the Battle Network series is 4, so pray for him whenever he gets around to it. Ah, yes, the 6 rounds of playing the game for completion once. I do not envy him. Like, I will probably only do that once more for completion for the Switch collection. Just to say I did it.
Painted statue.
Painted statue. At the very least, with the Legacy Collection, you have the Max Buster mode to make things immensely easier in that game specifically. Oh, and all the mod cards you can do now because of that, which adds a lot and mitigates a lot of the problems with that one. Specifically because that once you get hub style, you can just, like, breeze through... Well, not hub style, the hub batch, because you can double your health so much. Bradley, or someone needs to make a Battle Network 4 mod that makes everything available in a single playthrough. Yes, please, for the love of God.
Like, I always thought that was so stupid. Like, none of the other Battle Network games are like that.
Granted, we wanted a New Game Plus mode for a lot of these so we could keep the stuff we gathered the first time, but not like that.
Also, Duo is the worst final boss.
Up there. Definitely up there.
Like, okay, I know it's, like, that one laser attack he has is dodgeable, I get that, but oh my god,
it requires precision timing.
Which, I mean, when you're a kid, and heck, even now, it's
rather difficult.
Because, like,
oh yeah, these guys.
Who's Agalov? Aglavale?
He's a moody bitch.
What's your attack that?
I do.
That one, yeah, Final Cross. Look at that!
Oh, she did the Cosmos thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like, that's what makes Fiora busted. I think she's the only one that is capable of doing an AoE when you're doing a chain attack.
Yeah. Jump 556. I really like how the enemy handled the Cyber Beasts. Rockman, Mega Man can use both and later has the chips to use them on demand. Yeah. Honestly, the only issue I have with all the form usage is they don't really exploit most of them the farther the series goes along, which, fair enough, they use the important ones. But it's like, they could have used a few more of the Soul Unisons that were in Battle Network 5 beyond just Gyro Soul. Which, fair, Gyro Soul does give a pretty damn good ability that was limited in parts previously, but, like, when you're online, you don't really need to fly as much. Fairy Tail Diode. Right, what did Natsu get into now?
What did Natsu what didn't he get into?
By the way, we haven't watched any more Fairy Tail since we last did because we're still waiting for Collection 4 to become available again. It's the only one out of print. Which is weird. Or if it is still in print, it's so limited in availability that we're not seeing it anywhere. No, 556. I wish they could have used the other souls. Like, even just Colonel's soul. Granted, they were more focused on the cross-fusion stuff at that point, which I'm not against. Greece, evolution of Xenoblade doomed hometowns of the anti-villain. Agranatha, Torna, the city 1.0. Yeah. Was Torna Jin's hometown? I forget. I thought that was,
Torna is the Jin's home country, yes.
Yeah. I could not remember off my head. Person 556. Do we consider Gygar as a proto-gospel? Gospel is based off of treble.
It's a coincidence that they look alike.
Have similarities. Again. Oh. Flex King, here's a question. What type of magic from Fairy Tail would either of you or Alexis have? We haven't gotten that deep into Fairy Tail. Well, I haven't, at least. To give a good judge on that.
Crit magic.
Urza? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Like, I mean, like, with Urza, it's like, she specializes in armors. For me, I think I would just want to do, like, maybe, like, armors, but specifically, like, fisticuffs and stuff like that. You know, like, something I could rapidly change in and out of, you know?
Different types of weapons.
Yeah, it's sort of, like, almost like, you know, a fighting game character, almost. You know, get some mix-ups going. Because I think, honestly, the Urza's equip magic is, like, the coolest in simply of how versatile it really is, you know? Like, all you need to do is just, you know, magically bind a set of armor to yourself, and then you can just call upon it whenever. You want to...
Or a personal dimension pocket.
Yeah. Which, considering who I am, of my own hammer space, like, doesn't that just fit?
Yeah. Reese must not be a regular viewer. Ever seen the Slayers anime? It sort of like resembles from predates Xenoblade's Monado. I love the Slayer series. It's unfortunately it basically ended. Revolution R is the worst season. Probably is the best season. Even though it's anime original. So I get more of the books, the original story though, since they finally got imported. I actually have a coin that I got from a Funimation booth when they first did the first 3 seasons collection, which I have. Yeah, Slayers is a classic anime. I feel like everybody should see.
Tina Inverse is the best.
The enemy of all who live. My only other complaint about the series is I wish there was a collection of all the OVAs and movies that featured Naga, because we basically have no good collection beyond just finding old DVDs of those parts of the franchise.
I mean, if Disc Tech did that, then that would be such a win.
Hard flex, but they're known for hard flexing like that.
I mean, like, that's just what they do. They came out of nowhere.
Convincingly.
That blonde one with the sword and his girlfriend. He just backslashed us to death.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Riley Harris, for me, either New Clip or Celestial Spirit Match, because there's so much potential there.
This isn't pushing you at all.
Huh. John556, who is your favorite video game anti-villain?
Like, I mean, I have to just remember that they qualify that. Anti-villains are villains that have good motivation.
Right, let's keep going.
And it's like, I kind of prefer when my villains are kind of indefensible and like they can be redeemed at times, but you know you have to have them acknowledge what they did as wrong. And some of the best villains are just those are that aren't necessarily. How do I phrase this? They're not going to back down like that.
I also really like that from
because there are also you have to understand there are antagonists that are not villains, which I think is kind of the dividing line for anti-villain, where if they're antagonists but not villains, but in that big bad boss role, then they don't quite fit correctly.
What's the mechanical world doing with the spice banana?
Oh no. Meredith, what are your thoughts on the character redesign for the Xenoblade 1 and 2 characters that we got for Xenoblade 3 and Future Redeemed?
I love them.
Yeah, they're fine. It's like
what I like about Shulk's redesign for Future Redeemed is that he resembles Dunban. Like I'm always a sucker for like when the hero character resembles their mentor at some point, you know.
As for like the Xenoblade 2 cast, I think there was just like I don't mind the Xenoblade 2 art style, but I think their phrase this. Their puppeteering of the character models for the cutscenes was not the best. Whereas that got more rebalanced by the time they were working on Xenoblade 3 or even this specific remaster, where they had to improve the graphical appearance of the characters.
Yeah. I will say that, what was I gonna say? I do love the artist for, that did Xenoblade 2 and, 3, Chaco. Like, they're known for drawing, like, mecha, waifu.
And it's specifically the cutscenes where they have the biggest issues, not the heart-to-hearts where they're using the in-game models, or, like, just puppeteering around the normal scenes where they're talking in casual conversations. It's specifically, you know, everything that goes meme-y.
Yeah.
Meme. Not helped by the English dub of Xenoblade 2 because bad ADR director there.
And also, like, apparently the, like, for those who don't know, it's been confirmed that with Xenoblade 2's voice acting, like, if it ever sounds too memey or hilarious for some, that's not because the voice actors are in and of themselves bad, it's because they weren't allowed to, like, watch any of what they were feeding off of, you know what I mean?
Or the director didn't really help them give context to what they were doing.
Exactly. So what you get is actors like essentially acting off of a brick wall.
Yeah, Pyra Mithra Numa's voice actress, whose name I'm forgetting off the top of my head, was one of the most vocal about that because she did streams of Xenoblade 2 and talked about how she really wished she had been able to see what they were doing.
Because, you know, like, as much as you may not like a specific actor or actress for a role, at the end of the day, it's the director who tells them, like, how to do things.
Plus, you can see the contrast in just the Pyra reveal trailer for Smash Brothers, where she is a lot more on point, simply because she had direction and knowledge of what she was doing.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Xenoblade 3 was a lot much more, was like tons better in that regard. I hate gaps.
Wonder if I can run across this.
No.
No, I'm not bothering with that. I'll come back after we're off stream. Considering we're about to hit that point.
Yep.
Like, I want to get to the next flag, see if it just ends anything for us.
Well, I was gonna say, like, once you activate the teleporter for Egil, that's like that's when a bunch of stories happen, so...
I think this is actually that point, so let's just get to the marker.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll do a preemptive save that I can load from in case we accidentally flag it.
Oh, what? Rex's Xenoblade 3 design? Oh my god, the lad got an upgrade. Like, my god, he got so buff.
That is just my joke about that. He has to satisfy 3 women.
It's like, that was
like he was getting a workout daily.
River, Nia has healing magic. Like, good drama. Ladies, please, please. Spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy, gets bruised easily. Oh, maybe you have to go further up?
Further up then?
I don't know. It's like that's what.
No? You down? I think I got lost. Which is the typical thing with me in the Xeno series. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Like, name a Xeno game. I get lost in it.
Well, he just, that's what he does.
I don't know why navigation is so difficult for me in the Xeno series. It just is.
This works.
I'm fine, Dumban. But thanks for asking.
I wish I had a brother or sister. You guys look like a real family.
Well, you're basically like our baby brother.
What? Baby brother?
Be careful what you wish for.
My god, Fiora's a tease. Fiora is like that girl that looks all sweet and you know, demure, but like...
And then is savage.
She will savage you, and it's like... Nobody will save you. You are just gonna sit there... It's like, you're like a... I wish I had a baby brother or sister. You're like a real family. Well, kind of like our baby brother.
Yeah, that's the entire dialogue again.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna stop here for the day, guys. Should be getting close. Maybe 1 or 2 more streams of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 before we can move on.
Yep. Now the side quest begins.
Yes, all of the side quests that we will do inevitably. Alright, later, guys.
Bye.